Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I just got done visiting a couple of people, and I made several videos, which I will be posting later when I'm able to make it to a library. Yeah, I'm back here at Hotel Pilot at a. It's not at the same pilot I've been going to. It's at a different location. I'm not gonna tell anybody what location for my own protection. Maybe later on, once I leave this location, I'll tell everybody. But for now, I'm not gonna tell no one. I'm just gonna tell you folks that I'm at a pilot located in Northwest Ohio. That's all I'm gonna say for my own protection. But anyways, I just got done scrolling through the MLS, looking for a smaller house to possibly purchase in Indiana. And I gotta say, there's not shit out there. And the houses that are out there, in my opinion, the prices are a complete ripoff. I mean, cause my attitude is, if I'm gonna downsize, then I'm trying to surplus my money. Like, it's not gonna make any sense for me to downsize my housing situation, but at the end of the day, spending close to the same amount of money for that home as I spent for the house that I currently have in Alabama. I mean, I've on my last video, I told you folks that I was looking at going back to Indiana and downsizing my housing, and I told you why. But I also have to think logically here. To me, it's not going to make any sense to downsize, and then I'm only going to get back just a little bit of money. Like, a lot of the houses that I've been looking at up in Indiana, I mean, the prices are just insane. I mean, right now, this housing market is still going crazy. It's super competitive out here in many locations. And I'm afraid this is not going to be a good time for me to buy that house. Now, some people may say, okay, well, if I purchase in a high market, like for me, I got a house I can sell, which if I sold it now, I mean, right now would be the best time for me to sell it because I would be able to sell it much faster and I would get more money off of it right now than I would if I were to sit and wait for the market to cool off. But on the flip side of it all, I would also have to pay significantly more money for whatever house I purchased. Not to mention that the selections right now are smaller. I mean, the pickings are slim pickings, and the houses that are out there, I mean, either A, they're rating type, the houses that I like with the lot size that I desire in the neighborhoods that I desire to live in, the prices on those houses are way too expensive. And the houses that are within my price range, those houses are not up to par. I mean, there's houses out here that, I'm going to give you guys an example. I mean, I've saw several houses in Anderson, Indiana on the MLS for $100,000. And these houses were the majority of these houses were, well, they're in the hood. I'm going to just say it just like that. They were in the hood. Now, for those of you that know Anderson, Indiana, I mean, you know that anyone with a half a freaking brain cell has absolutely no business purchasing a home in Anderson for $100,000 that's in the hood. That's just plain stupid. I mean, I wouldn't even suggest anyone buy a house in the hood in Indianapolis for that price. I mean, I wouldn't buy a house in no hood for $100,000. I don't care where I'm at. I mean, one of the main reasons why I live in the states that I live in is because I will not spend $100,000 on a home in the hood. I mean, I just can't fathom spending that kind of money to be in a less than ideal neighborhood. I just cannot do it. So, I mean, you know, to be honest, I mean, I would say at this point, chances are pretty high that I'm going to just stay in Alabama, and I'm going to do what I can do to make things better for myself in Alabama. Because, I mean, I might want to go back to Indiana for a few reasons. However, I don't want to go back to Indiana so bad that I'm willing to get ripped off, and I'm willing to not exercise logic when making these type of decisions. So, yeah. Like I said, I just got done looking at the MLS, and I gotta say, I am very disappointed in what I saw. What I saw was just a bunch of garbage, basically. Houses that in a normal market in the parts of Indiana that I was looking at, houses that would normally go for 75,000 are now going for 125,000. I mean, right now the prices are completely insane. So, for those of you that are in the market and you're looking at buying a home, I mean, number one, I wish every one of you, I wish every last one of you the best of luck. And I hope you find something that you want at a price that you can afford and not get ripped off. I mean, you know, I know this is easier said than done, but whatever you do, don't be in such a hurry. Don't be so desperate to buy a house right now to where you go against logical thinking and either A, you buy way too much house financially, or B, you buy a fixer-upper and it's too much of a fixer-upper. The work that it needs is beyond your skill set. And then you're going to have to chase around contractors all day, and that's a pain in the ass. Take my word for it. And definitely don't get ripped off. I mean, if you're looking at a house and in whatever area that you want to live in, and if you know or someone who knows the area tells you that the normal price for that house is, let's say, $75,000, don't go buying those houses and paying $150,000, because the second that the market cools off, you're going to instantly be upside down in your home. If something were to happen to your job or something crazy, you're going to be instantly upside down in your home. And then you're going to have to foreclose and then file bankruptcy protection, and then for the next several years, your credit's going to be all jacked up, and now you're going to be out of tons of money. And I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody out here. So if you're currently in the market and you're looking to buy a house, be very careful. And obviously, whatever you do, I don't give a damn how good of a deal you think the house is. I don't care how many people are looking at the house. I don't give a shit what your realtor tells you. Whatever you do, never, ever, ever, ever forego a home inspection. And honestly, it would not be a bad idea to even pay a little extra money and hire a appraiser. I don't care if you're taking on a mortgage or if you're paying cash. Now, obviously, if you're doing a mortgage, the bank's going to have an appraiser anyways. But, I question the appraisers that these banks hire. I question their integrity because some of the prices that these houses are going for are way entirely too expensive. So, number one, do not forego home inspections. Number two, it wouldn't even be a bad idea on the day that you have your home inspected. It wouldn't even be a bad idea to also hire a mold inspector to inspect for mold. Now, some regular home inspectors are good at inspecting mold and they'll be able to tell you what's going on. Some home inspectors may not be so good in that. So here's an idea for you. If you have a regular home inspector and they tell you there's moisture in a given area of your home, the best thing that you can do is automatically assume that it's mold. Even though it may not be mold, typically wherever there's moisture, there's going to most likely be mold. So if there's like a bunch of moisture in the house that your inspector points out, assume that all of it is mold. And if you want to buy that house real bad, then you're going to definitely want to hire a mold inspector to make sure all that is not mold. And if it's mold, you're going to want to get a price of how much it's going to run to make those kind of repairs. The house I purchased in Alabama, it was a fixer-upper. And I had to spend over $25,000 to have all the mold removed from my house. This house had a shit ton of mold. I had to spend $25,000 to get the mold removed. So whenever you're looking at buying a house, do not forego home inspections. Do not buy a house without first physically visiting the area. Physically visit the area and get a feel of that community before you buy the house. I keep telling you guys over and over and over. So for those of you that are watching these kind of videos, I'm hoping that you're taking that advice. And another thing is, it would not be a bad idea. Now, once again, many of your regular home inspectors will be able to tell you rather or rather not there's live termites in your home. But once again, if you question whether there's termites in your home or not, once again, it may not be a bad idea to pay a little extra money and hire an actual termite person to inspect your home for termites or carpenter bees and things of that nature. Don't be in such a rush. Don't be so eager to buy a house that you skip exercising basic logic. Hire your home inspectors. Have feet, physically be at the location of where the home that you're wanting to purchase is at. Drive around the area during the day and at night during the week, as well as at least one day over the weekend. ask questions. Ask a few locals a few questions about the area. Ask them some questions about the house. You'll be surprised how much people really know. And they'll be willing to tell you. In most cases, they'll be willing to tell you. So, yeah. I mean, what else here? Yeah, that's about all I gotta say. I just wanted to make this video just to let you guys know most likely what my next moves are gonna be in terms of me moving or not moving. And I just wanted to give a word of advice for those of you that are out here looking to buy a house. Don't, especially you first time home buyers. I mean, like I said, I can't emphasize this enough. Do not be eager to buy a house. Now, I personally think that within the next few months, the housing market is going to start to slow up a little bit, and I think that housing prices are even going to start to lower. How much? I don't know. When exactly? I don't know. But what I do know is if you're too eager to buy a house, you're gonna forego exercising logic. And I don't want none of you guys to do that. So until next time, stay strong. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave comments below. And until next time, everybody have a blessed one.